Today on The Spot, we kick things off with a look at the newest DLC coming your way this week on Xbox Live Marketplace. We'll check in with Ryan McDonald in our community spotlight, and Kevin Van Ord takes us through the world of Demon Souls on the PlayStation 3. Today on The Spot.
Hello everybody and welcome. It's Today on The Spot for Thursday, October 1st. I'm Chris Waters, joined over here by my man Lark Anderson. What's going on, dude?
It's October. We got a
October.
Halloween special coming out. We've
That's
got
true. End of
tons
the
of
month.
games coming out.
Like a ridiculous
It's nuts.
amount.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
incredible.
Some of the big titles that come to mind. Let's go.
Brutal Legend.
Uncharted 2.
Borderlands.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2010.
Yeah, that's
9.
this year.
Yeah, God, I can't figure it out.
It gets confusing sometimes.
It's an overload from the old brain. You know how easily that happens. All right, so now, as always, we're going to throw it over to Tor Thorson. My man's got the latest headlines. Tor, what's up?
Hey everyone, it's your GameSpot news update for Thursday, October 1st. I'm Tor Thorson. If that date sounded important, that's because it is. The $250 PSP Go launches today with over 16,000 pieces of content, including 13,300 TV shows and 2,300 movies. Oh right, games. The digital download-only handheld will have 225 titles on day one, including PlayStation 1 ports, catalog titles, and new games like Gran Turismo. Going forward, Sony has said that the majority of PSP games will be released on both UMD and digitally, but it can't say all games for legal reasons. However, if you have a big old UMD library, you may want to hang on to that PSP 3000. In North America, Sony will not be letting owners exchange their UMD games for digital copies that they can use in the PSP Go, which, kind of sucks. However, UK PSP owners will get 3 free digital downloads from a restricted list when they upgrade to the Go. In more blood-curdling news, Dead Space is getting a sequel. No, not a Wii spin-off like Dead Space Extraction, a real sequel on the PS3 and Xbox 360. A job listing posted by EA's Visceral Studios revealed that the core team behind the award-winning original has already crafted the navigation system and combat mechanics for the sequel, with full-blown development to begin in the next few months. Unfortunately for desktop gamers, no mention was made of a PC version of the sequel. Well, that's it, your GameSpot news update for Thursday, October 1st. For more headlines like these, head over to news.gamespot.com.
And there you have it, today's latest news for October 1st. Now we're going to head on over to Xbox Live and see what's new on the marketplace.
This week on Xbox Live, we've got a ton of really cool new games to check out. New demos that just hit the marketplace include Wolfenstein, which lets you take control of BJ Blazkowicz as he goes up against the Nazis in this first-person shooter. Veil powers give you abilities such as being able to slow down time, which is not only helpful, but also adds to the game's creepy atmosphere. Another demo released this past week was NBA 2K10, which lets you play as the Los Angeles Lakers and Orlando Magic. While the demo should give fans a taste of what to expect from the full game, we'll have to wait until October 6th to find out for sure when NBA 2K10 ships. In the arcade section, old-school TurboGrafx-16 fans will undoubtedly be happy to hear Military Madness Nectaris is now available for 800 Microsoft points. The turn-based strategy game returns with an all-new graphics engine and a ton of new features. In addition to the game's single-player campaign, an offline or online 4-person multiplayer mode has been added. Online leaderboards and even an all-new multiplayer-only unit, the Commander, which has 20 unique abilities, is now all new and available in Military Madness Nectaris. Also new to the arcade is Football Genius, and by football they mean soccer. Are you a football genius? Test your football knowledge in the ultimate quiz, covering international, English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish football with over 3,500 questions about your favorite teams, players, and tournaments. The last new addition making its way to the arcade this week is Bust-A-Move Live. With a hefty dose of single and multiplayer options, Bust-A-Move returns with its tried-and-true gameplay that has you shoot bubbles at bubble clusters in order to clear stages. In the Games on Demand section, new this week is Episode 1 of Fable 2, the action role-playing game in which you take on the role of a hero in the land of Albion, lets you play through an epic storyline, becoming the world's greatest fighter, gunslinger, or mage. Although in this Games on Demand version, you'll need Episodes 2, 3, 4, and 5 to enable full live functions and to join other heroes from around the world. The other episodes can be purchased within the game. In the Indie Games section, you'll find new games like Railgun Charlie, Alien Encounters, X-Cross, and Spider Evader. Last but certainly not least in the game add-ons department, you'll find a Left 4 Dead new mission called Crash Course, which takes place right after your helicopter crashes from the No Mercy campaign. Fairly difficult and only 560 Microsoft points, this one's a no-brainer for fans of Left 4 Dead. Well, that's all the time we have this week. Check out GameSpot.com and XboxLive.com to see a full list of all the new releases hitting this week on Xbox Live.
Well, looking like that indie games community is pretty boisterous over on Xbox Live, at least.
New games every week, it seems.
Yeah, they're prolific.
They are.
But we're heading off to the daily demo now. It's time to see a proper game that comes in a box. We got Demon Souls today.
Demon Souls.
What do you know about this game, Lauren?
I know that demons are some of the most covetous of the beings in the world, and they love souls. They love to collect them.
That's
but
true.
so does the dude in the game. He kills demons, gets
chop 'em up.
souls, and then spends them for cash money. It's
Souls
kind of
are currency?
harsh world that they live in.
Yeah, it's harsh is definitely the word. That game is brutally difficult and unforgiving.
This is harsh, evaluate me. That is a very common message you find in that game.
Yeah, you can leave messages. There's some cool life and death mechanics. I caught up with Kevin Van Ord. He's playing this game for review, and we sat down and worked through a little demo for y'all. Let's go check it out right now. Daily demo time, folks, and as promised, it's Kevin Van Ord joining me on set. Kevin, how's it going?
Good, how are you, Chris?
I'm doing really well. I'm excited to see Demon Souls, which you've got on tap. We've been talking a lot about this game.
We have. It's been the discussion in the office. We've been looking at it a lot. A lot of people in the office looking forward to playing it. I've been playing it for a while, so I'm happy to bring it on the show and kind of show you guys what it's all about.
Some intriguing stuff, so let's jump right in here and see where we're at. Show you guys some of the cool mechanics going on here and what exactly we've got here in Demon Souls. So, Kevin, tell us where you're at.
All right, well, right now I'm in the Nexus. This is the hub world of Demon Souls. What happens is every time I die, this is where I appear, and this is also kind of your home base, where I can upgrade my weapons, I can upgrade my skills, and so on.
All right, so your sort of respite from the world happens in the Nexus. It's pretty. You got those glowing sigils on the floor.
It is pretty. I've got a lot of people here to help me out. This is the blacksmith. He'll help me out with upgrading weapons and purchasing equipment. This guy will hold on to my equipment. I can't sell any of it, but if I want to store it, I can come to him and store my equipment.
Okay, so when you upgrade, you left your little dinky round shield there when you bulked up to this one. That's a pretty big shield.
Yeah, I've got my steel shield, which I really love. Not only can I block very effectively with it, as you see, but I've also got a great riposte move if I pull it off.
Nice.
But yeah, he's got a great big shield there. But what I'd like to do now is kind of go into the game proper. Now there are 5 different worlds that I can travel to from the Nexus. I'm going to go to the Burrow King's world.
All right, let's do it.
This is the Archstone of the Burrow King, and I'm going to go to the middle. You see, there are a couple different places I can go to because I've defeated the boss.
Okay.
So I can appear somewhere else in the world, but I'm going to show you the very beginning of this.
What kind of boss did you have to defeat to get there?
The dude I fought for that one was Giant Spider.
Ooh, yeah, that one was nasty.
He was really tough.
Flaming rocks thrown at you? Yeah, that was. I caught a glimpse of that. That dude was big and gross.
Yeah, I think it's worth pointing out that Demon Souls may be the hardest game that you play all year.
Before we talk, we'll talk more about the difficulty, but there are ghosts lingering here in your world. Who are they?
Those are other players. Now, they don't actually occupy my world. But what happens in Demon Souls is that when you see ghosts like that, you're actually seeing other players when you're connected online doing what they're doing in their world.
Okay.
Even more interestingly, see this little thing on the ground?
Yeah.
That is a message that another player has left me.
Magic attacks are potent against the next enemy, so that's like a tip?
Yeah, basically you and other players can leave each other tips for each other's worlds.
You just go ahead and tag the ground and say, look out, buddy.
That's exactly what it is. And there's other good stuff too. Now, notice up here that I've got these dudes throwing rocks down at me. Now, obviously I can see that, and I know that that's going to be a little bit of a problem.
Right.
But if I'm not sure, there are these blood stains. And what this is basically the indications of another player dying.
So it's his last moment's replay. Oh. So he got by some big boulders.
He did.
Yeah.
Now, not every death is going to be as obvious.
Right.
So between the bloodstains, the player notes, and the ghosts, I kind of have an indication of what to expect as long as I'm paying close attention to what's going on in the world around me.
All right, so you use these clues that other players help you with, and you know, obviously you can see that there are giant boulders being hurled, and so you sort of saw a pattern there and made it through? Is that what we're seeing?
Exactly. And the other part, of course, is because the game is so difficult. Whenever you die, you go back to the Nexus, and if you want to do it,
you do it from the beginning.
Oh.
So there's a whole lot of trial and error involved in this game. So as a result, I kind of know what to expect, what the enemies are going to be like.
Now, we're going to wrap this up soon here, but there's one more cool thing you were telling me about in terms of interacting with other players here. You can actually like play some kind of co-op, right?
Oh, yes, you can. I'm going to get out of the way here. I've got another one of those clown-type dudes over there that doesn't like me too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to get to a safe area where he can't really reach me. Okay. So there's an item. I'll show you my inventory list so you can kind of see what that looks like.
But, a lot of herbs.
Yeah, I do have a lot of
Old
stuff.
Spice.
But yeah, I have this blue eye stone.
Uh-huh.
Now, if I drop this. Now, I'm in soul form right now. That means that I have died, and I'm no longer in human form. Now, by dropping this soul stone, or by using this this stone, I kind of drop my soul mark here.
Okay.
Other
Kevin
players
was here.
Pretty much, yeah. Now, players that are in human form will see this in their worlds, and what they'll be able to do is select it, summon me into their world. I will join them in co-op play. And then we will tackle together. Now, what I do in his world won't affect mine, but I will get to keep any souls that I get from that. So there's definitely something worthwhile.
And souls are the currency again. They're used to help level up, or
they're used for pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Souls are the currency in the game. You only get them from defeating demons, hence demon souls.
Yep. I gotcha.
And then I use those to upgrade equipment, to buy stuff, to increase my attributes when I go to the Lady in Black, who's a really interesting character down back in the Nexus.
Well, Demon Souls, thanks for coming on and showing this off. This is something we've been talking a lot about the office, and also you've been getting kind of frustrated with too. It's sort of one of these alternating games, right? It makes you mad, but then you really enjoy it. Like,
it's really interesting because I don't always have a lot of tolerance for useless trial and error. But I think that there are a lot of parts about Demon Souls that are absolutely brilliant, and honestly, I can't stop playing it. And I think about Demon Souls 24 hours a day right now.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Kevin Van Ord, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, Chris.
All right, and on with the show, folks.
So that was our look at Demon Souls on the PS3. Now we're going to toss it over to Jody Robinson with a look at the Community Spotlight.
Hey y'all, this is Ryan McDonald in for Jody Robinson with your Community Spotlight. Last week, in our Greatest Game Hero feature, there was some unusual reporting coming back from the Samus Aran versus Bub and Bob poll. Samus was in the lead by thousands of votes, and the night before the polls closed, the little dragons that could, Bub and Bob, surpassed Samus, who suspiciously came out short by tens of thousands of votes. Once again, we had to do another recount to ensure the competition was free from any kind of ballot stuffing. After investigating, we found 16,000 fraudulent votes, which were removed. Sadly, Bub and Bob had to leave the arena, but they did so with their heads held high. Now we have the remaining 8 game heroes in round 4, which includes Ryu versus Gordon Freeman, Mario versus Kratos, Samus Aran versus Mega Man, and finally, Duke Nukem versus Link. We can't wait to see who will end up in the final 4. Voting for round 4 ends soon, so be sure to stop by the Game Heroes feature to vote or check out who's in the lead. While we've seen a lot of cool community content recently about the news coming out of the Tokyo Game Show, this week's member spotlight goes to Puna. His blog is all about TGS displays, highlights about Metal Gear Peace Walker, and Capcom's RPG for the PSP, along with the thought that Final Fantasy will never die, thanks in part to the recent game announcement and the PS3 bundle. Drop by the forums directory and scroll to the member spotlight area to find his blog. It's game night tonight. Don't forget about stopping by our Game Night feature, drop into the chat room and join us for a game of Battlefield Heroes for the PC. Game Night starts at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today and every Tuesday. We'll see you there. That's all for this week's Community Spotlight. For more of the shocking community news that will make you gasp, stop by the Spam Filter blog. For Jody Robinson, I'm Ryan McDonald. Until next time.
All right, folks, that's going to about wrap it up for us here today on October the 1st. Before we close off, though, what do we got going on here, Lark? What do we need to talk about?
Well, we still have the Greatest Game Hero competition going on.
Yes,
and,
that's right.
We're down to the semifinals.
It's coming down to it.
Only 4 left, and it's almost time for some Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome jokes.
That he's been polishing for some time.
I have, but you're probably going to be disappointed.
It might be a letdown. But the competition won't be. Be sure to get your votes in, and be sure to tune in on Saturday for our hottest new episode of Today on the Spot. Now, for everyone here, I'm Chris Waters.
I'm Luck Anderson.
Y'all have a great week now. What's that, y'all?
Y'all.
I like y'all. I like that phrase, but I'm not from the South.
It's
Is
a
that
good
okay
phrase
to use?
It's
I don't know. Hey everybody, welcome to Today on the Spot for Tuesday, October 1st. I'm your host, Chris Waters. I got my man, Lark Anderson, right over here.
I am Lark Anderson. It's not actually Tuesday.
Bull. It is actually Tuesday.
Today it is. Today is not October 1st.
To get started, we're going to give you a taste of what's under the hood. This Chimera Inferno case is what it's called, actually. Our Guardian PC under there. So I think it's what it's called. I don't really know. Try to start that.